our latest episode of the ENT Review. I'm Laura Dennis. We've got Rami, of course, and today we have Nancy Davis, who is the IAC Accreditation Director for CT. Did I get that right?
Yep, you did, yes.
Yes. Oh, especially after yesterday.
You know what? This is a wonderful new day. So, what are we talking about today? IC accreditation is a huge part of any CT purchase. It can either feel like a huge burden, or it can be simply some paperwork that you need to get done to ensure the safety and efficacy of your CT system. We have a long relationship back to when IAC used to be called ICACTL, which sounds like pterodactyl. That's how you remember it. But it's just IAC today. Today, I think 80 to 85% of our customers have IAC accreditation. Why? Why, Rami?
Number one is to put you on par with an imaging or a hospital. I think that accreditation certifies you as the physician as well as the practice to not only be able to take scans, but ultimately be able to read them and offer reports on them as well. So I think first and foremost, that is the most important part of getting credentialed for IAC.
And
reimbursement, of course. If you followed our podcast from yesterday, there is a business side to do it to running your practice, and credentialing through the IAC is vital for just that.
Right. So the IAC accreditation ensures that you get your Medicare reimbursement. Of course, we know the private payers almost always follow the lead of Medicare. So this is an opportunity today for us to ask some key questions that our listeners and viewers, not watchers, viewers, want to know about accreditation, so it doesn't have to be a headache. And also, what's really great is this is new Nancy, not to be confused with old Nancy. She's not old; she's just former Nancy, who we had a great relationship with. Well, and now Nancy is just, as we've been talking, we've learned that she's super excited to be even more involved with our doctors and our IC professionals on the side who are doing the accreditation for the practice to help them and make it a seamless and enjoyable process, as enjoyable as possible. As possible. So we have some questions that came from our viewers that we want to kick off with. Rami and I are going to take turns, and my first question is, what is the difference between the physicist survey and the preventative maintenance report?
Okay, great. That's a great question because I find that a lot of sites do have some confusion on that point. We have two documents, actually three, that we require for accreditation. Initial accreditation, you need two documents from a physicist. One is the annual survey or the installation survey. This is a document that comes from your physicist. It is produced annually. They come and they measure the radiation dose and the image quality of your machine. You also, for your initial accreditation, need a shielding verification survey, and that is just a survey where the physicist measures the radiation output versus your shielding in your room. And those are two documents. And then there's a third document. The third document is called the preventative maintenance, or the PM. And this is performed by an engineer. So this would be someone from Xoran, an engineer who comes out once a year. I try to equate it to the tune-up in your car. You get preventative maintenance on your car as well. They check all the gears, they check all the mechanical pieces of the machine and make sure everything is good. So, and that's also sometimes, just in case you're asking for it, referred to as a field service report or an FSR. So if you call an engineer and say FSR, that probably is less confusing to them than a PM document.
Okay, great, thank you. Yes, it's important to remember that when you first purchase your scanner, at least from Xoran, you get the medical physics services for 1 year included. And so all of that paperwork is, of course, it's provided to the practice, but Xoran makes sure that that is organized for you ahead of time, so you don't have to worry about that. And then, of course, as always, you can call Xoran and get your PM. If you're under any type of service contract, your preventative maintenance is included. It's another reason to be on service contract.
Not only to have that PM for IAC, but also obviously to extend the longevity and the life of your scanner. So
And peace
it's
of
great.
mind.
Peace of mind,
Peace of mind.
absolutely.
Yeah, your system's gonna be working.
Nancy, can you explain kind of what we need to do to upload the 5 days of QC? Do they have to be daily? I get a lot of questions back from my customers, kind of worried that they're not doing it right.
Sure. So we require QC, quality control, and that would go by your manufacturer's guidelines. So for Xoran, it's monthly. So you would do 5 months of QC. Now, for again our new sites, you can do 5 days of QC. We don't want you waiting 5 months to submit your application. The one, and this, what we need includes your report or the values from your QC and phantom images. Now, one thing I really love about Xoran, just gonna say, they have a lovely report that has the images right on it. So if you're using a Xoran scanner, you do not have to upload images for me in the PAC system because your images are already embedded into your QC report. Just make sure you include both pages of the QC report when you upload it if you're going to do it that way.
That's an improvement that we made based on customer feedback.
Yes, it's a nice one to have too.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and it makes it easier for our customers as well.
Yes. Yes.
So we probably should have started this at the top of the show. What can we say? This is a great question about. I am a new manager at an ENT practice. I know nothing about accreditation. Where do I start? And maybe you just give, I mean, there's so many places to start. Maybe you give us
There
like
are.
2 sentences of just like, you know, of the 14 places you could start.
Right.
Where you know, where could they start, and then without having to breathe into a paper bag, preferably.
Yeah, so first of all, I want to say, if you're in this situation, don't be alarmed and don't be hesitant to reach out because we have a lot of sites in that situation. It's not uncommon. You know, we're here to help you. The best place to start is we do have a webinar that's on demand that you can watch. It's about an hour. I run through the entire application process. And the second thing I would say is reach out and call me. I'm available always for all of the sites. So I don't mind getting on a Zoom call with you. I will meet you where you are. If you don't have any idea how to even open the application, we can start there. I will get on the Zoom with you and we'll figure it out. But I take a team approach to accreditation, so I want you to think of me as your teammate. We're going to get it done.
Great. What is the fastest? I have a follow-up question. What is the fastest that you've seen from when you help somebody with application to getting submitted at least?
So our range right now is about 6 to 8 weeks
Okay,
from
and that's
submission. And I should
I'll
say,
leave it for approval. I'm talking about for how long is it from when a customer gets a scanner and then submits? Do you have any idea?
oh, I don't because I don't.
You don't track that.
I
Yeah.
don't track that.
Okay,
It just
okay.
depends on how quickly they can get their information. I know you guys are really good about
Right.
giving them everything they need, so that's helpful. But once we get them, I would say tidied up, so they will come in and they will kind of overview the application once it's submitted, and then maybe we'll ask for 1 or 2 more things. At that point, once it's completely finalized, it's 6 to 8 weeks to get it.
That's
get it
faster than it was in the past.
Yes.
Bobby, what's your record for helping with the application?
To submission,
Yeah.
about 16 days.
16 days.
Yes,
You heard it here.
Yes.
You heard it here. I think we're going to take it down to 14.
I like records.
Yes.
I like to be the
Yes.
best.
Let's try to
Yes.
make it faster for
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah. That's, you know, with assistance from Xoran in terms of getting those documents complete and everything filled out correctly. You do need the assistance of your doctors because you're going to have some CT interpretations done as well. So you have to have the buy-in.
What I always tell my customers is the process can go as fast as you make it go. So if you are doing your due diligence and you are supplying, Xoran and whoever the specialist helping you with the paperwork that they need, with the certification, with the copies of the licenses, doing your radiation safety, which we have a question on coming up, all of those things help streamline that process. Also, if you are thinking about getting CT, there's no reason for you to have to wait to start to understand the application. You should kind of start looking at that and understanding what you need during the sales process, and that's something that we can help you with pretty well with. I always get questions about scanner-specific training. Now, obviously, we give training to all of our customers. We're on site for 2 days post-installation. Is there anything else on top of that that they need for the IEC application?
No, just 4 hours of scanner-specific training. And that's only confusing sometimes when you have a new doctor come in. So, but there's 2 different ones. You mentioned radiation safety training and scanner specific training. So those are the 2 that they need.
That we need, and we'll help you with both of those.
And where can staff get radiation safety training from?
So, as you know, the physicist will provide that for you, usually during the annual survey. If for some reason you have a doctor that missed the boat that day or they don't have it, I'm
can't get
actually
accredited.
not.
Well,
I'm
you're
not.
done.
We
Yeah,
can.
that's
We can.
it.
Never get
But I'm not
accredited.
sure about you guys. If
We have an
you do,
online
like,
course.
You have
It's
an online course.
through
Okay,
medical
great. Yes.
physicists.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's say some of my manufacturers don't, so we have little resources and stuff.
Yes,
And
yes.
So, and that's again, anything that comes up like that, please just reach out right away. Don't wait. Don't get frustrated because every day you wait and you're not sure is a day that you're missing getting through the
Exactly.
accreditation cycle.
Yeah,
Getting reimbursed.
So I mean, hundreds and hundreds of probably almost 1,000 of our sites have gone through this process already. So there's probably nothing that you haven't heard before, that Robbie hasn't heard before. All these are questions that are things that have been seen before, and that we can help with. So there's no reason to sit there and be frustrated or
Be
just can't get it
embarrassed
done.
because if you're asking the question, I guarantee you, I've heard it at least 10 times probably this month. It's common. It's usually common
Yeah.
questions.
So we did save the hardest question for last. This is the question I get the most, especially from practices who might be a solo office or a smaller group. QI minutes, what are they? Where's the best place to find them? What is all involved with those quarterly and annual meetings that practices have to have?
Right. So for accreditation, we do require 2 QI meetings a year. My biggest suggestion to facilities when they call and ask me about this is to use the QI tool that we provide. It's a free QI tool. You can even use it if you aren't accredited with the IAC yet. You just want to look at it. It's on your application portal. You can create a portal even if you haven't started an application. It's a tab called QI tool. And what you do with it is you enter cases and a little bit of identifying information, and then you assign these cases to your radiologist or your technologist and people in your office. And this tool, when they go on it, it asks targeted questions about the case. It asks about image quality. It asks about report elements that have to be in the reports for your accreditation. And it runs down the whole list. And there's 5 elements of QI that you have to have in your minutes. It's image quality, test appropriateness, interpretation quality, timeliness of report, and radiation safety. So if you use this QI tool, it gives you data for all of those except for radiation safety. The other thing I strongly suggest is when you're doing your application, you use the QI tool for your studies. And the reason I say that is it's like an open book test. You send it to your radiologist or even your office manager, whoever is doing it, then they can go through all those questions, and then the studies you're sending have all the elements that they need in the report. It's really saves you, again, on the back end, getting a decision that says you didn't have a signature in 4 days.
Right. Now, let's just backtrack. What does QI stand for?
Quality improvement. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have said it. Also, on our website, we have a reference sheet. Sometimes it's, for me, I think it's a little hard for sites to locate. You can always reach out and ask for it. But we also have a template for your QI meeting minutes. That's also helpful because it hits all the highlights. It has all the elements you need.
Right. No
And
need
then
to
you know
read
you
it.
have them all.
Yeah.
So,
So that's something, I learned something new today, that the QI tool is available on the IAC site. That's a great little tidbit for me. You don't have to start from scratch. It's already there. And it's really just to make sure that every 6 months someone is looking at, checking into the image quality, checking into the reports, making sure that everything is done correctly, so that there's no surprises.
If anybody's
balance.
getting off track, you
Checks
can
and
get them back
balances.
on track.
Yep.
And we could, if we do a webinar, we could go over the QI tool. I could
Oh,
show-
that's a great
live.
idea. Yeah, we can show it live
Yeah.
and then also show the meeting minutes template where to find
Yes,
it.
absolutely.
That's a really great idea for a webinar. Well,
Yeah.
you heard it here, announcing a new webinar. So this was so great to have you here today. And then for anybody who should know that IAC does attend the Academy as an exhibitor.
Yes.
That you can, as a clinician, stop by and just meet people directly and learn about the standards, learn about what's new, ask your questions in person.
Yes.
And now you have a face to a name.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Nancy. Thank
Sure.
you, Rami, for showing up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the other side.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.